What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over the Dead Man's Tale Callus. We will be breaking down how to get it, how to upgrade it, and finally what it does. So once you've done the normal version of the secret mission, you can then go to Zavala and you'll have these part 2 of it pretty much, which is for the Callus, and this will unlock the master difficulty of the mission, and this will be at 1320 like level, so a little bit higher than most people unless you've been really grinding so far. And the only really negative modifier it has is match game. And the catch is it has a 25-minute timer that you have to complete the mission within those 25 minutes or else you'll get kicked back to orbit. So one thing I'll definitely do is treat it like a Nightfall with match game. Make sure you have different elements on every single person on your fire team. That way you can take down all the elemental shields. Make sure you use all the safe subclasses, for example, Well and even Bubble. Then you can also use Anarchy to cheese the boss. If you're not very comfortable with just going down there and fighting them, what you can do is pretty much just drop down, double stick him with Anarchy, and jump back up and be safe while still damaging him. And the final thing I recommend is just make sure you know where you're going in the mission itself. So run the normal mode a few times, make sure you know exactly where to go, what turn to take, what thing to do next. That way you're not wasting time in the master difficulty, because if you know where you're going, you should have plenty of time for all the accurate sections and also the boss. We finished with like 7+ minutes left, and we had a few deaths here and there, and it could definitely be cleaned up. So overall there is some wiggle room of messing up, as long as you're not wasting time in the puzzle part of the mission leading up to the boss fight. And once you're done with that, you just have to go back to Zavala and he will hand you the Callus. And the way to upgrade it, there's two different ways. One is just getting kills, then the second one is just finding the hidden chest in the mission itself. But the kills is only 800 and will be a lot quicker unless there's already a guide out on where all these secret ones are. So what I did was just load up the Shattered Throne dungeon, go to the Thrall room and just farm it there with Devour. You could also go into Shuro-Chi and Last Wish. Either one works pretty well, and that one took roughly 20 minutes. So unless there is a guide uploaded on YouTube where all the chests are and how to do that, this will probably be the way quicker option and pretty simple. So after about 20 minutes in here, you'll be done and have the full Callus upgraded and be ready to see what it does. So what does it do? It increases the rate of fire while hip firing and also removes the hip fire accuracy penalties. So testing the first part of the Callus, the increased rate of fire. First, if we test 10 shots while ADSing, see how long that takes, 4.5 seconds. Now doing the same thing while hip firing, it's gonna be a lot quicker. You can nose it right away. And now 10 shots once again, now take 3.5 seconds, so almost a full second quicker, which is roughly 20% faster rate of fire. And I'm hearing it makes it roughly a 180 RPM. The RPM stats in Destiny are not very accurate in terms of what actually happens in the game because of reloads and things like that, but it's gonna be roughly a 180 RPM. Then the second part of the Callus is it should fire perfectly straight while hip firing, which is definitely true. It goes exactly down the center, but the part is it's only as accurate as your aim. As you see on PC with mouse and keyboard, especially at range on bosses with really small headshot hitboxes, it's pretty hard to hit it consistently, but you can hit it enough. Make sure you still have the full ×5 buff pretty much at all times. But I found when I'm doing it for ad clear, aim like almost higher than you think, and it would pretty much result in a headshot every single time. But like I mentioned before, if you're shooting at max rate of fire, it's only as accurate as you are yourself. So mouse and keyboard, I found it's kind of better at times to take your time and make sure to aim above them. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about this on controller. With aim assist, I feel like it might be a lot better of experience than keyboard and mouse actually. But overall, the Callus is doing exactly what I thought it would do. It takes a weapon that is really fun and surprisingly actually pretty good and just makes it even more fun and even better, because hitting headshots across the map while hip firing with a scout rifle just feels extremely satisfying for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it just feels really good to use, and that makes it really fun, and it's extremely good. I mean, it's a scout rifle that can one-tap pretty much everything across the map while hip firing. I mean, what else do you want? You can also use scout rifle targeting, which is in the artifact of the season or the normal version of the mod, which will help with that aim assist hitbox. Then, as we showed off in last week's video with the chromatic fire build, this build turns this thing into an outstanding weapon in PvE. It has Solar Dragonfly, which then can create Warmind cells. Then we have the Sundering Glare artifact mod to debuff enemies at range whenever we hit them 4 times. And we also have Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle to break champion shields. And then also debuff them while doing that because of the Sundering Glare. So overall, this build turns this thing into a monster for Ackler, and also really good for harder content with champions. And because it one-hits pretty much every red bar in the game, that's also creating the Dragonflies on every single shot, which means Warmind cells, which means clearing out the room even quicker. And overall, just hip firing things across the map and having them explode with Dragonfly, then create a Warmind cell, something about that, I can't explain it, it just feels so fun and so good. So overall, just continuing with my impressions of this weapon from the first week, the Callus just makes it feel a lot better and more fun. At times, I would be relocating the weapon anyways and hip firing it, so the Callus just makes sense and it just feels natural the way it works. And just takes a weapon that was already really fun to use and really good and makes it just that much better. Anyways, the rest of the video will just be some strike gameplay with this build and the Callus. And once again, just make sure to take your time on the master version of the mission. As long as you're not wasting time being lost, you should have more than plenty of time to do the ad clear and boss sections. So just make sure not to panic and you should be good to go. Anyways, definitely let me know how this Callus feels on controller. I feel like it might be pretty nasty, and running into some good controller players or even mouse and keyboard players in PvP with the scene might be kind of crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.
I'm reading dense